Yeah.
Orf.
I love that we just very quickly played on the triple meaning of that word.
Yeah, my seal of approval.
We should maybe actually get one of these Cadillac mats. It says it's like walking on clouds.
Wow.
Cadillac.
You know, I've never walked on clouds before.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I've been in a
I tried
Cadillac.
once. It didn't end well.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay.
Anything you need? Last
Let's,
minute?
I will need. Let's see. Can I steal the outlet that your kettle is plugged into? I did bring my own kettle. Just 'cause it was already,
okay, dude.
It was already in the box by the time you texted me. I was like,
And mine's stainless steel, so.
Yeah, if you wanna.
well, mine was also already full of my water.
Special
So
water. Oh,
yeah.
You do
Special
like
water?
mineral water or whatever? Or
I don't. It's not that fancy. It's just that the tap water at my house is really like it's not sufficient. So I get filtered water from Winco. It's like 40 cents a gallon.
Damn.
Is that your grinder?
Cheap. Yeah, dude.
Hand grinder?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Good, because mine is so loud.
I don't mess around, man. Like, there is so much coffee that is about to happen on this podcast.
I'm so stoked. I love coffee so fucking much. I woke up at 2 p.m. today specifically so that I could feel like it's morning.
That's awesome. So,
Definitely not because I like.
How many cups of coffee deep are you already today?
I don't honestly. This is the weird thing. I don't drink that much. Like, I make coffee for like my roommates. I make coffee for myself, but I don't drink. Like, I'm typically like a 1 cup a day guy, and it used to be that I couldn't even drink coffee in the morning.
Seems like one good cup of coffee a day. It
Yes.
seems like.
Yes, no, totally.
Seems like you make it count.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. With my.
Oh,
that I
shit.
brought. Oh shoot,
Bees
man!
knees. What up?
I walked out without the thermoses. I had thermoses of milk.
Oh.
Do you guys have milk? Do you guys have like half and half or anything like that?
No.
Dang.
We're not really dairy guys.
Oh, that's fair enough. That's
Yeah.
fair enough. Do you have like?
I did have almond milk, but then
Every now and again I have
used it.
whole milk, but it's usually just for cooking, and then I use it all in like pastas and stuff.
Fair enough. Do you guys have like ice?
Yes.
Yes.
If you have some iced Americanos.
That's my favorite, so.
Should we wait to grab the ice, or?
Probably. Are we rolling right now?
Yeah, but this is just.
Okay, cool. This is just in case.
Yeah.
These are for funsies.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've
Yeah.
noticed that you got honey in a mason jar.
Yeah.
Did
so
you
Milk the bees.
harvest?
I'm a beekeeper, and no, just kidding. No, my roommate's former employer knows a beekeeper, and so like has local honey. The mason jar is partially for show though. It did come in like a gallon jug.
Okay.
But it like started to crystallize. You can see it's crystallized in the bottom. So I put it in this mason jar so that I could like, the way you're supposed to decrystallize it, you should put it in like simmering water for a while. And that worked for a while, and then it started to recrystallize. So I need to do that again, but I have enough honey on top.
Crystallized honey is
today.
also dank.
Crunches.
Yeah, dude. It's
really
On
good.
some toast.
Yeah. I bought like a full honeycomb at the store a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've been like just like putting it on everything, and it's so good, and just like, oh my gosh.
Flare up.
Dude,
Call them herpes. Oh, whoa.
That's my little shop mirror. So then.
Samson, is that what that is?
Nah. In my experience, no. But you know what? He's a pastor, so.
I will say, I stole that from. This is gonna sound really weird now. I stole it from my sister, who had it since she was like 5 for like doing her hair.
Yeah, that's usually. That makes sense, but you know what?
Oh, boy.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Cocaine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or ketamine, whatever floats your boat.
Sure. I mean, ketamine will give your boat one heck of a float.
Might sink it, but
Either way. Okay. So.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. The Kinu M47 Simplicity.
Yes. The CM7 combined with the Caravan of stainless steel.
Brown dog roasting,
I
huh?
have a fun story about that. So how do you guys want to do this? Because, like...
Well, I guess we'll let you get everything set up, and then you can sit down and take a breath, and we'll
So...
eventually
Figure it
see
out.
what you look like.
Yeah.
Toss the purse off.
Let me get my cans on.
Oh, yeah.
Can.
Oh, hey, look at that. There's a whole little...
It's a whole new world.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy. We got our own display.
Okay. So this feels like it's maybe cut on.
It might be.
Is that just how long the cord
This
is?
needs to go around the other way.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
well,
just
let
take
me-
them off. Send
You
it
can just,
around
like,
Max's
not use
I feel like this is pretty
direction.
good content.
It's
Usually it goes.
usually it's way more boring.
it reaches a little bit better the other direction. For some reason.
Oh boy.
It's crazy how math works though. It's just like...
Speaking of math, we watched a fucking amazing movie last night, all about math, called Jerry and Marge Go Large, and it's Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening.
Okay.
And it's a true story about this guy who retired after being an analyst at a Kellogg's factory in Michigan.
Okay.
And he went and discovered this state lottery game had a fucking loophole where if you spent more than 10 grand on the game, you were guaranteed to win.
Whoa.
So he formed a corporation and rebuilt his little tiny town in Michigan.
Oh my gosh.
By getting $27 million from the from the Massachusetts state lottery over 10 years.
Ding, ding,
I mean, that's
ding.
brilliant. What was the name of the town?
The town was called Eckert, Michigan, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Was
when
that
we
it?
going?
Everett. It was Everett.
Yeah, let's plan a trip. Is MapQuest still around?
Yeah, we got to find out when Jazz Fest is.
Tori Kelly,
Yeah,
dude.
Tori Kelly played at their Jazz Fest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big deal. Yeah. Okay, so
Tyson Gusman.
that's me. We're rolling.
Comedian, overall good guy,
Oh, shucks.
and wearing some pretty snazzy glasses.
Thank you. They there's a thing that I like to do when people ask me if they're real. Is I take them off and I go well, yeah, I mean, not really. I go let's see how many people
Do you know any
Did I
other
catch
magic
it?
tricks?
It's pretty much just that one.
Nice.
Unless you got a deck of cards, then I know 40.
Whoa.
You good at card tricks?
I'm not good at card tricks. I know I'm I'm not good at them. I will eat your lunch. I'm amazing. No, it was just it's one of those hobbies where I like obsessing over little things that you can get a little bit better at over time. And so yeah, a couple, I don't know, the summer after my freshman year of college, I was just this seems like a thing I could carry around in my pocket. And then I just learned a whole bunch of stuff. Completely useless. I don't
great.
ever do it. But I'm thinking about it because today I was on a phone call with my friend and he complained about me washing the dishes too loud. And so I had to do something else with my hands. So I broke out the deck of cards and
Oh, nice.
practiced my vanishes and my shuffles and whatnot.
Honestly, I think if your roommate is mad that you were cleaning, I don't think that's a big deal.
You're right. It was my buddy I was on the phone with. So I had my AirPods in and he was like, you are making so much noise right now. It's
You're
sorry.
just what?
I thought it was a roommate thing. He's like, shut up out there. I'm like, why don't you do the dishes?
Washing your dishes, douchebag.
I love washing dishes. My roommates will never complain about that because I love washing dishes so much. It's just so therapeutic. You just get to take a little hand bath.
You make your hands feel like the little ducks in the Dawn commercials. And you
Have you
wash
ever-
the oil off.
Yep.
Have you ever worked as a dishwasher before at like a restaurant?
No.
Yeah,
No.
you wouldn't like it after that, I don't think.
Probably not. No, that's you never
Yeah.
make your passion your job. That's,
And what are you trying to do right now? All these open mics stuff.
yeah, no, making the passion the job. That is a good point. That's a great point.
Speaking of, what's your whole? What are you? If someone was just meeting you,
If someone was just meeting me,
yeah, give us.
that's a
your-
great call. You should definitely. That's a good idea.
Just real quick before
Yeah.
we get back to
this whole thing we got going.
Yeah, this will be fun. When it
Yeah.
starts.
Tyson Gusman.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm bumping your leg. I
That's
thought that was
okay.
the leg of the table. You are built
my
roughly like a table. It's you and me both, dude. We're some table boys.
Lanky.
Yeah, big flat torso, long limbs.
People call me Lazy Susan. Oh shit!
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
That's probably
That's
too
cool.
loud. Is that too loud?
I don't mind it. It just
I think it's
surprised
fun.
me.
Yeah, I didn't realize what was happening. I
okay,
thought
yeah.
we were like
I mean, now that it's hot,
under
I'm sure
attack.
we can get
I'm
it.
not gonna lie.
This kettle is actually designed to sound exactly like Black Hawk helicopters.
Yeah.
We should take a second.
Shit.
No, okay, just to
Should
make
I
sure.
edit to like the lights to kind of go off of a minute?
Oh my god, they're hitting us with EMPs. Okay, so what am I?
Yeah.
Presently, so comedian,
Yeah.
pastor. I don't know if you guys knew that about me.
I did.
I've
Okay,
heard,
yeah,
but I would like to talk about it. Yeah. Do you have like a religious upbringing? The guy, or like, are you a born again something or?
Yeah, no, I was raised religious, and the interesting thing about that is I like no longer identify very closely with the type of religion I was raised with, if that makes sense. Like I think that everybody goes through this process in adolescence where you kind of like understand things for yourself, right? And that necessarily part of that is becoming something different than what you were raised to be. Like psychologists talk about the individuation and differentiation are like two sides of this coin. It's like you have to know who you are and you have to know who you aren't. And so like I think everybody moves away from their religion they were raised in some way. That's part of growing up.
Yeah.
I just happened to do it in a way where I ended up still in like Christianity, which is weird. But yeah, I find it when I try to summarize it for people, like briefly, the thing that I really, really care about is hope.
Rebellions are built off that.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and this is where, yeah, all of the stereotypes that people have about Christians are totally justified and right, and they are also the things that I hate about Christianity.
I think that's truth with any religion and like religious group though. Like you always have those zealots that are gonna like put everybody else in a bad like viewing, like if you look at this shirt right here, like that's from a organization in Moscow that's like more like cultish than anything, but because they've claimed that name, right?
Yeah.
It's so affiliated with everything else, like, and it's the same thing that like Westboro does, right? Like,
right.
And like just basically creating like just these horrible like views on the general population when most of it is not even that serious. It's more just I feel like community and like something to do, like like
yeah, and I mean that like these are like the two extremes about Christianity that people have. Is it's either like your activism is making sure other people know that they're hated, right? Or you just kind of show up once a week so that you can assuage the guilt and existential anxiety that you have, right? And I think that there's like, I think anything that is like a genuine way of life has to be something like more rich and profound than that. But yeah, those are definitely like two real like places that are occupied in the world. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
the other thing too, when you have whatever fucking 2 billion people who are all like in different sects of like Christianity itself.
Oh yeah, Christians
right?
have
like,
a ton of sects.
It's like
Like so much sect, and they don't get along. They're definitely chafing from all the sects.
50 Shades of Christian.
sects are rubbing each other raw.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's definitely
But
true.
sex
Butts.
are... you Sorry.
No, that was good. How many more? Some of these sects
Probably
are so
more.
anal, and these anal sects are just
Dude, other sects are just pussies, you know?
some of them just talk too much. You have these oral sects. What are you doing?
Amen, dude.
Well, then you have
Can I
like-
pray for it? No, I'm just kidding. That's become one of my favorite jokes with my roommate. Like, I have one
that
roommate
is a
who's
good
religious and I have one roommate who's not religious, but we all are in on this joke where one of us will say something that's like, I don't know, like Hobby Lobby sign adjacent or like fake profound, and we'll just be like, can I pray for us? And it's our fun little punchline.
That's a good one.
I swear to God, not blasphemous. Also, can you pray for us for this episode?
Yes. Do you want me to do that out loud right now? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Great.
All right.
Great. God, we are grateful for a time that we can be together and be silly and have fun. We pray that you would be in our conversation and in our listeners, that you'd be present, and that the spirit that moves all things would be transformative today. Amen.
Amen.
I have
you.
never been asked to pray before. That is like
I want to see if you're legit. I don't believe you. You're way
Is
too
this man
dirty on
really
stage.
giving me the word of God?
you're like, let's see how pastor this guy really is. Let's yeah, Samson's just gonna start trauma dumping.
Dude, that's what I do, baby.
Yeah.
It's been like 5 years since my last confession, and
Hey, I'm here for it, man.
So, like, what, Episcopalian or like?
Nazarene.
I think he can eat fish if he wants.
Yeah, I can eat fish. I'm all over it. I eat fish all the time. Not like tilapia.
Yeah.
Dude, tilapia at Winco, so cheap
Tilapia
right now.
slaps, bro.
Oh.
Tilapia is always cheap. Rockfish.
Oh, I haven't had
Rockfish is
rockfish.
good.
All
Should
right,
try some
I'll check it
rockfish.
out. I'll check it out.
Bread it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you take
No, I'm here for this
Dip
fish
it in
recipe
oil.
right now, dude.
panko crumbs,
Yeah.
fry it up in the oil.
When you guys edit this
All right.
podcast, do you like put in little sidebars? Like, are we gonna see like over Max's face, just like a big
recipe.
the recipe for
No, but I
Samson's
think you might
special
give us some
rockfish?
new
in on
idea.
me eye rolling.
Yeah, it does do that a lot.
That's awesome.
All right, we're talking about tacos now. Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nazarene, which like the interesting thing about the Nazarene Church right now is it's like clock's ticking on revolution, to put it in like big stroke terms. Yeah, you got to watch for the big strokes in all these sects. So no, it's just like we're reaching a point where like the thing that Nazarenes are famous for is like Footloose, like is kind of the cultural icon of it. That is like no dancing, no drinking,
no having fun.
yeah. There's a joke at so I graduated from Northwest Nazarene University, which is right here in Nampa, and there was a joke that like, you know, Nazarenes don't dance because they know that or no, Nazarenes don't have sex because they know that sex leads to dancing. It's like a joke.
Gateway moves.
Yeah. So like, yeah, one of the things that there's all of these issues where young people are going like, hey, this doesn't really matter in our lives, and old people are like, I rented it 40 years, and then and what's going to happen is either old people are going to die. Sorry, that's going to happen either way.
Yeah,
I don't know why I said
They are.
Max.
But
Max is like, can you pray again?
Grandpa.
Mom said Grandpa went to live on the farm.
He lives in a butterfly sanctuary.
He lives in a butterfly sanctuary.
I don't know. Isn't that where people say dogs go when they can put them down so their kids aren't upset?
I feel like they say farm. How were you raised, bro? Were you raised this close to a Whole Foods? That's like a...
La Jolla. I mean,
He was.
Yeah.
He was. La Jolla is a butterfly emporium. That's true, actually. The monarch migration like comes right down through there, right?
Well, it also
Oh,
goes
like
through,
actually-
the monarch migration goes through McCall too.
Yeah, they go way up there.
Every summer at Brundage, like there would be like hundreds of monarchs, like on like when I was a kid at least. They might have stopped going through there because like
Isn't that our state
Pollution.
like bug or something? Our state
bug.
our state something. Isn't
What
the monarch
bug is our
butterfly?
Yeah, I
bug?
think it's our state butterfly.
Is that specific?
Yeah, I think
so
it
then, do we
is.
have like a state beetle and a state like to like every kind of bug?
If that's true, like I feel like 90% of the states would have to have monarch as their state butterfly. Like that's just the butterfly, right?
I think of the orange one that or the black and yellow ones. Those are like the two.
The big black and yellow
Yeah,
ones.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
those
what I
ones
think.
are cool.
Everything
What
else
about
is
the
a
blue
moth.
ones?
That's a
Everything
moth.
else is a moth.
The big ass blue ones. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't know.
Oh, dude. Okay.
He's typing in big ass blue butterflies right now.
Put it on incognito so your mom doesn't see that you type ass on her phone.
Idaho. Okay, you're right. Idaho state insect.
Insect.
Both the caterpillar and adult monarch butterfly.
Nice. They get both of the
It's
sex.
a twofer.
The monarch
Yeah,
ingests
both in
toxins
sex.
from the milkweed plant, which are poisonous.
Butterfly.
Hey.
It's got a smoking body, but butterflies.
But some U.S. states do have official butterflies versus insects.
How many?
Yeah.
This is so fascinating for the watchers of this podcast, I'm sure.
Official butterflies. Alabama has one. It's called the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail.
Interesting. Didn't they have better things to be doing than...
No. There was Forrest Gump and
So it looks like... all right, I'm going to list all the states that actually have butterflies. I'm not
Okay.
going to list all the butterflies. Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas,
which states have butterflies?
Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Minnesota, Mississippi. Also, Minnesota's a copycat bitch. They chose the monarch butterfly as their state butterfly.
I mean,
That's bullshit.
Who did it first?
We did, for sure. But we also don't have a state butterfly. The monarch is our state insect.
Right. Yeah, we probably had bugs before.
Montana.
yeah, we've had bugs for way longer than those guys have had bugs.
They have had bugs.
They didn't even have the idea for bugs before they saw us, dude. We were like, what if the animals were really
I know, man,
tiny
it's
and
some
hard
asshole.
on the outside? They were like, what?
When we invented bugs, that's when I knew we were in for a summer we'd never forget.
That feels like a
Zac
surprising
Efron.
number of states that have a state butterfly.
It's about
Are there even
a
50
third.
butterflies?
I'd call it a third of states have a state butterfly.
Are there just 50? How many species of butterflies are there? Is it just each person?
This podcast needs a research assistant.
I know.
We need a
29 butterflies have been adopted by states as official. 19 have been adopted as butterflies, where another 10 states have adopted butterflies as official insects.
You're good at this.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like I'm looking at his phone and he's just looking at the raw data. Like he's
scrolling
just
Instagram right now.
He's really good at making all of
just
this
on
information
Pornhub.
up.
He's looking at
He
shit
typed
posts
in
right now.
big, beautiful, and then he got distracted before he got to butterflies.
My recent search popped up. Took me out of it.
This website's funny. Net state. Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah. Also, your connection isn't secure. Like I feel like,
Yeah.
oh my god, the helicopters again. Should I start making coffee?
Let's make
Should I
some
do this? I
coffee.
want to make some
Yeah,
coffee.
let's make
I
some
think
coffee.
we learned enough
talked
about you. Let's
butterflies.
just
Who cares about this guy? No, so do pastoring, do comedian, and then when I'm at home.
What do you wait? So do you pastor for money?
So I did up until like 4 weeks ago. I was on contract at my church. It was like so they have like an intern program that I came up in when I was in school, and then the extension of the intern program was a residency, and I did the residency for a couple years, and then my contract expired because I'm going to go to grad school. And so this year is about applying to grad schools, doing comedy, and those sorts of things.
Nice.
when you're pastoring and giving sermons and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Do you ever like throw some bits in and
Every
kinda-
time,
yeah.
every single time.
Sweet.
Which like okay, so
I'm like a fun pastor. I wear khaki
well,
pants. and-
yeah. I mean, this is like where, like, I think that church gets a really bad rap because it's been really boring for so long. That like, yeah, because we just have this like guilt assuaging mechanism associated with it. It's like, yeah, so you don't really need to do anything interesting there. And I'm like, that's stupid. Like, if this is about how we are going to withstand like human life and existence if this is like how we're gonna, like the mechanism that we're gonna like enliven our hope by, let's actually do something with it. And so like for me, the sermon is, and I don't shy away from the word sermon. Like people will be like, oh, message or talk or something, and I'm like, no, like the sermon is its own art form. Like to me, it's like Kafka wrote that the book should be an ice axe for the frozen seas within us. I'm like, that's what a sermon should be.
That's all I remember whenever I've been to church is the sermons. Like that's when the priest puts like his own little spin on it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so I always try to make it like, real. I always, like, if I'm doing like a one-off thing, if I'm doing a series, it's a little bit different. If I'm doing a one-off thing, then like you got to build up like an understanding of who you are at the beginning, right? Like your voice has to come across. And so I'll often start with something that's like kind of silly or fun. Waves of glory, waves of grace.
Sorry.
You got a good voice.
Thanks.
That came out of nowhere, man. Look at this guy. But yeah, I the first time that I preached, I was like 50. I had just started doing stand-up like the summer before, so I was like 15 years old. I didn't understand where jokes should go yet. And so I'm preaching, and I get to like the emotional high point of the message, and it's the story where Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead. And so he's there with Mary and Martha, and their brother's dead, and Mary goes, "Surely, Lord, if you had been here, he would live."
Don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did I just steal
did. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
So
do
it's
that.
like, you're fine. So it's like I get to this moment, it's like really serious. Like this is the high point, and I pause and I go, and Jesus says, "Don't call me Shirley." And it's like, it's at such a moment that people kind of go, yeah. Hey, wait a second. This groan kind of builds in the room, and then one kid just goes, "You were doing so well."
Just one guy.
Yeah. That's how you preach. Amen, brother.
He taught me.
So yeah, there's that. Okay. Have you guys seen my whole darn thing disappeared joke yet?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Have you seen it?
Not sure.
Okay, so this is what I've been doing recently, because like when you tell people that you do stand up, they come up to you and they're like, "Oh,
That's
like,
so
tell me a
cool."
joke."
Yeah, that's true.
And so I wanted to
dance.
exactly. Well, so like the joke I have about it is like, Larry the Cable Guy used to say, like, that's like going up to a plumber and be like, "Oh, you're a plumber, fix my toilet." But I think it's worse than that, because like as a comedian, like I need a microphone and an audience and a stage. Like I have tools of the trade. So it's more like walking up to a plumber and just like pooping in your hand and then being like, "Can you plumb this?" So I've been doing this thing where I share that, and then I go, so I want you guys to tell me a joke. Here's what I want. I'm going to give you like the structure of this joke. You guys come up with alternate punchlines for it. And so I do the whole thing where, so you haven't seen this. I'll kind of stumble on stage, and I'm very like out of it. I'm like kind of delirious, and I like sit down on the stool, and I'm like, "Sorry guys, I'm kind of out of it today. I haven't really eaten yet. I tried cooking pot stickers in a non-stick pot. Whole darn thing disappeared. I didn't get much sleep last night either. I wasn't thinking. I threw a heated blanket on my cooling mattress. Whole darn thing disappeared." And I'll like keep going on like this. And the one it always ends on is I go, "You guys are probably thinking like, oh, there's some dad jokes. He's got some dad jokes. Not anymore. Put some sunscreen on my son. Wiped my baby with some baby wipes. Whole darn thing disappeared." And so I tell this to like whoever, and then I'll get like alternate punchlines. So the baby wipes one is actually from like a teenager.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I got one this past month. Somebody was like, I put some Under Armour on over my armor. But I think it's so fun because like part of what makes this joke work is like the parallelism of the words.
Yeah.
Like pot sticker, non-stick pot.
Yeah.
And so like Under Armour over my armor is like, so it just works so well.
University of Tyson.
Yeah.
Your comedy degree.
Okay, so I need to like start measuring things and like putting
Right,
stuff
yeah.
around. So
Okay.
what's the best way for me to like hold this microphone?
Oh, here.
Or okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay.
There you go.
So Max, you're like kind of a coffee guy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'd say we both are pretty.
We're both
addicted.
pretty addicted to coffee.
Addicted to coffee. Okay. So like, you make AeroPress. Do you guys like make coffee every day or?
So Max has an espresso machine upstairs that we
Nice.
both use every single day.
Nice.
And like, I don't know how many shots I do. I think he has 6 shots in the morning.
That's awesome.
It's like 3 scoopfuls of that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So 6 shots. You mean like 3 doubles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I do about the same.
Okay. Yeah.
AeroPress
like I said-
is just like if someone's like, "Can you show me how it works?"
Oh,
I've used
yeah,
it
yeah,
like
yeah.
less than 5 times,
Really?
but it's fun.
I love the AeroPress, man.
Really?
I'm a big AeroPress guy. Just because, like, to me, I think part of the fun is that it actively like solves one of the problems of coffee, which is like it's an immersion brew, but it's paper filtered. Because like with the French press, you get the grit. I can't stand the
I
grit.
love the grit.
Really? You're
big
pro
fan.
grit?
Yeah, big fan of the grit.
Oh my gosh.
I like the grit. I like cowboy coffee.
I like chewing
it.
my
Yep,
coffee.
I do.
That's awful. Well, here, have a little snack.
Yeah,
then.
I'm
You go
terrible.
right ahead. That's awful, dude. Okay, so I got to
Try
tell you
these.
guys the story of this coffee.
Yeah.
So
I like the jar a lot.
Yeah.
The jar is sick.
So the jar is cool. This roastery has like this zero waste initiative where they're like, coffee usually comes in bags. And the problem with bags is, you just have to throw them away at the end. Whereas with this, you kind of get to, doesn't that sound nice? I love this.
It's cleaner and cleaner every rotation.
Yeah. So with this, like I get to take this back to the roastery and have them fill it back up with more coffee, which is exciting.
That is exciting.
Are you turning my gain up?
Yeah.
Where's the
I'm sorry.
roastery?
Okay, so I was in Washington. I was about to go preach at this camp. That's what I was doing this past month.
Do you
for
practice
part of
what you?
Practice what I preach? Do you mean do I practice my sermons or like do I do stuff?
I don't know. However, that's the funniest.
Yeah, you can definitely catch me alone in my room sometimes, just like reading off of an iPad different words that I'm gonna say later.
Yeah.
But that's true of comedy too. Like really, they are very similar practices, like preaching and doing comedy. The first time that I was preaching, actually, I was like, I got halfway through and I just kept thinking like, because I'd already started comedy, I kept being like, man, I am bombing right now. Wait, they're not supposed to laugh. They're not. We're good. So, yeah, they're very similar practices. But anyway, so I'm getting ready to preach at this camp, and I like had to like get some last like editing stuff done at a coffee shop or whatever. So I'm in like the town I grew up in, basically, and I just looked up like roasteries near me, because that's, by the way, that's how you find good coffee shops. Like
Yeah.
the place that are also roasteries, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I look up roasteries. I find this one. It's Brown Dog. Their website looks super legit. I was like stoked about it, and I start driving there. I get like 3 minutes out. Yeah, that's called a Weiss distribution tool. It's actually just
It's a wine
guitar
cork
strings.
with guitar strings in it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just designed to break up clumps and get to a more uniform density in the bed before you tamp it. Just puck prep is the most important part of brewing espresso, in my opinion.
And this is when you push it, it's called tamping it.
Yes. So I'm tamping right now. I don't have a fancy tamper. This one
Oh,
came
I should have
with
brought mine down.
this machine.
I
I would bet that it's the wrong size.
Yeah, that looks
because this
small.
is a 38 millimeter portafilter, and most are 58 millimeters.
You're right.
So sorry, this has like an awful squeak to it. I really need
Hand
to.
press.
Oh yeah, dude, it's about to get real. Could you hand me 2 of those rags that are over there? I think I gotta like clear
Do
the
you need like a
space as
little
I'm going.
espresso cup to put under there? I've got a couple I can grab.
I've got mine, but I didn't put them on the table. I think they're like little. There's a brown and a blue one, and they should be inside each other. Are they right there?
I don't see 'em.
You don't see them. Oh, they're inside. Oh, my bad. They're inside here.
We're good.
Good sounds. Good amount
I like
of sounds.
the ceramic.
So yeah, these were made by my roommate's boyfriend, Christopher Truxa, who is a very talented potter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he also like welds, and his like major in college. He just graduated, was political economy. So he's just like an all around really cool and smart guy. So I look up this roastery. I find this spot, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I pull up. I'm like 3 minutes away, and I pull into like a suburb, like fully a neighborhood. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like a place that there would be a coffee shop. Like, I'm not going to pull up to a storefront. And sure enough, like 2 minutes later, I'm driving into, like, I'm pulling up to the location, and it's a house. Like, I just pull up to a house.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And so I'm like, uh-oh, like, this is going to be weird. But, like, in the yard, there's a sign that says, like, Brown Dog Roasters tastings today. And so I was like, okay. So I get out of my car. There's a 4-year-old on the porch with a tennis racket. And he looks at me and goes, hi, why are you here? And I'm just like, I'm here for the coffee roastery. And he goes, okay, I'll go get him. And he opens the door. He's like standing on the porch. He opens the door and he goes, Dad, you have a customer.
Did he talk like a video game?
He did kind of, yeah. So the dad comes running out and he goes, oh, shoot, we need ice too. I forgot about that.
I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah. Are you getting like a second angle on this?
Yeah, I want to see this.
This is going to be sweet.
Very interested in this process.
Oh, yeah. So now I've got the water in there. I'm trying a couple different techniques for my brew right now. Yeah. So like right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to get up to 5 bars here. And then I'm going to stop the lever entirely. This is what's called a bloom extraction. So I'm letting the CO2 get out of the coffee. I'm going to let this get all the way down to 0 bars. I want there to be no pressure in there before I start pulling. So we'll see. This is like the super fun part of the podcast where everybody gets to stare at me making coffee.
I like it.
This is the part I watch on like Instagram reels and
stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen that account on TikTok? I think it's called Soft Porn, but it's P-O-U-R.
Oh, that's a good account name.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're... Oh, shoot, I forgot to change the grind size before I started this. It'll be fine. I love that my arms are just fully going to be shaking while I'm... Oh, that smells really good.
It looks really good. Best part of waking up.
Tyson in your cup. Brown dog in your cup. Brown dog in your cup sounds like a...
Someone took a shit in your cup.
Who's brown dog? Oh my gosh. Okay, get that too. I was aiming for 30 grams out. I got exactly 30 grams out. Pretty proud of myself.
My God.
No big deal. All right.
I like how it's got like a gauge on it of like how hard you're pushing on it. That's pretty.
Yeah. That's the
badass.
Pressure gauge. So this guy comes running out of the house, and he's like, "Hey, are you here for coffee?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Like a coffee shop or like a roastery?" And I was like, "Well, I found your guys' website, and I wanted to come check it out." And he's like, "Great, like right this way."
A person.
Yeah. Was not expecting
Turn on the lights.
So I think I got some mason jars down there too. You want to grab that for me?
Yeah.
So 4-year-old in tow, we go around and we head to the garage, and in the garage he puts in the code, and like door opens, full coffee roastery in his garage. It was so weird. So it's like, and it feels like a coffee shop should. Like that was the weird thing, was that it's like, it's fully just like a third wave coffee shop, like the light grain wood counter that comes around, and just so funny. And he's like
decked out with all the...
Yeah. So he opens it though, and he goes, so I built all this, and I'm not an architect. And so what did he say? He goes, I didn't really know how to build this, so I didn't build an entrance to it. So the way that I get behind the bar, and then he just jumped over the bar. Like, hey,
Nice.
figuring it out, dude. Yeah, exactly. But then he like showed me the whole thing, and he made some really cool coffee. And then he asked me at the end if I would leave him a review on the internet, and I was like, absolutely, dude. And Well, I haven't done that yet. So this is
We
going
should-
on the
this
is
internet,
it.
right?
We should leave him a review.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave him a review.
We should all three go on and leave him a review.
Let's do it.
Where was this, you said?
This was in Bonnie Lake, Washington.
Bonnie Lake? Is
Yeah.
that?
I don't know if he does mail orders, but we could find out. These three males could try to order some.
Oh, hey,
That's right, it's a play on words.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see how that does us.
Mails order.
Mails order via mail.
Right.
Have you seen that meme that's like your package came in the mail?
It's like a dude. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. A fella. Tyson, what are we making here?
I'm gonna whip you guys up. So the original plan was to make you the drink that I make my roommates like almost every morning, which is a little concoction of things. I guess what you would technically call it is a honey chocolate caramel breve.
That sounds really good.
It's delicious and amazing, and I love it. But since I forgot the half and half at home, what we are making instead is a honey caramel chocolate iced Americano.
Sick.
So we'll see how this goes. And if it's awful, we will blame it on Fernando and his 4-year-old child's.
Deal.
Who
Is
are
this
currently
Fernando right
residing
here?
in Bonnie Lake. That's him.
Yeah.
Round Dog Roasting. They found it. You leaving a review right now? I don't want to wait until after we.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I drink it.
Is that some water over there?
Yeah.
Sweet. You're like, no, this is the gallon of vodka we bring to every podcast. This is the white vinegar
Wow.
that we always have on hand in case we need to remove any adhesives. Here, let me measure this out so I'm at least appear scientific.
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty exact throughout this whole concoction.
Yeah, you've measured everything and weighed it all out. I've never seen someone be more precise with their.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, do you see my little journal over there with the lemurs on it?
Yes.
Yeah, you should hand me that really quick.
I like this journal too.
It's cute. My mom gave it to me.
Oh, your mom got it?
I have so many journals that my mom gave to me.
I get all my journals from my mom too.
Oh yeah, you gotta. You gotta.
She usually comes and takes me to like Barnes and Noble or something. We get some
Yeah.
journals.
So this is where I record all of my coffee data.
Whoa, shit.
Yeah, yeah. So this is like
Whoa, dude.
yeah, this is like years of like different metrics, and there was a point too where these are like notes on James Hoffman videos, but like I used to do it vertical,
Yeah.
and then I added metrics,
some
so I
new
had to do it
metrics, so you had to go horizontal.
Yeah. And so yeah, this is my grind size. It's the day. It's the weight in. It's the dose out. It's the time, brew method, flavor, texture, notes.
Do you
Holy
use the same
cow.
coffee every time, or do you have it for like different?
I have it
coffee
for all different
brands
coffees.
and-
Yeah, so that's like I usually put that information in the date because I'll brew with the same coffee for a while. But like yeah, so on the 30th is when I started really dialing in the brown dog. So I've had about a week, and
Week to get it dialed in.
We'll see if it pays off at all. Who's going first? It's Samson.
Yes.
Sammy boy. You give that a little sipski. You tell me how it is.
Oh, let it rip.
Oh my god, dude. Holy cow. Can you come and make this for me every morning?
Yeah.
Shop
Dude.
in your garage that.
Yeah, I'll pop the garage open. You can see my entryless bar.
Ooh.
So
Dude.
my roommates and I do this
Chocolate
thing.
too.
Yeah, this combination of flavors is just unbeatable. Like I just kind of stumbled across it. They were like, surprise me, and I,
Like, yeah, it hits your mouth and like immediately just like
yeah,
good, like damn.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, me and my roommates do this thing called productive morning, where we get up and like all drink coffee together and do various things for our day. And so this is if you guys
Sounds
move in-
adorable. Can we start doing that?
You can't get up when I do.
I can. I gotta try hard.
Samson got up at 2 p.m. today. He's like, "Can we do productive afternoon?" You
No.
get
get
off
up
work,
when
you
you
have a
get
little
home.
coffee. That's awesome. Okay, so I need to clean this out to reset. How do you guys want to do this? Do we want to pause the podcast? Do we want to follow it upstairs to the sink? Do we want to? Or I could just knock it out in that trash can. I could rub it off with a rag.
If you're not opposed, we could do that.
Yeah, all right, let's try it. Let's try it. I almost never do this sitting down.
It's gotta be a little
bit. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Do you want to like move that right here? That would be. Yeah. Perfect.
Do
Perfect.
that.
Yeah.
I forgot my manners. Let me change into proper attire.
Oh, you genius.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Could you hand me that purple rag?
Yes.
Pink chartreuse? I don't know.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. I'm going to be covered in whatever this is made of.
What are those, knapsacks? Is that just
It's burlap, I
burlap?
think. Yeah,
burlap
yeah.
sack?
Straight up.
So that's burlap.
This is an interesting bag, too, because I can tell, I mean, it's a little bit cut out with the neck hole, but it says Swiss water process, which is, that means that's a bag of roasted decaf coffee.
That it is.
Where did you get this?
I went to Dawson Taylor, and they were just giving them, like, they just had a pile and take some.
That's awesome. Do you guys have, like, a favorite roastery in the area?
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
Mine is Caffeina.
Really?
Yeah, I really like Caffeina.
Yeah.
And mainly because I just really like... They have good coffee. I also just like the vibe in there. It's a really good spot to work. And,
It is.
like, they have such good burritos.
Oh, I haven't had the burritos.
Really good burritos.
Also, everyone in there is so good looking.
Yep, that's
I
another-
sometimes just like feel like I don't belong.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, did I walk into a set of a movie? What's happening
honestly,
right now?
It kind of feels like that sometimes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you think you're not good looking, Tyson?
This is my Cinderella moment where you guys convinced me to take off my glasses and I've been beautiful the whole time.
Let me preach something to you. You've been helping so many other people. Dozens, I've heard. Do you ever do the film stuff at, is it the Northwest Nazarene, NNU, what is it, out in Nampa?
Yeah, NNU.
Did you ever do any of their film stuff?
I didn't, but I ran the comedy club out there, and I worked with a bunch of film majors for it. Specifically, Kedrick Stelway he's from over there. He really great. Check his stuff out. But we did like a ton of sketches together. He's a good friend.
Cool.
Yeah, we still have a group chat from the year that he didn't live with us officially, but he was like always in our apartment, so he was like one of the roommates.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's an awesome guy, and we work together a lot. So not directly in the film stuff, but vicariously, which is how I end up doing a lot of things, I think.
I love it. I know they contract people from like outside of the school for some of their films and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I went
yeah.
in some of they have some cool sets.
So
Cool
okay.
little studio spots.
Yeah, weird story about that actually. So I ran the sketch comedy show, was part of the club, and I had the friend that I was on the phone with today, washing dishes. I don't know if that's going to make it into the podcast. Probably not.
The dishes part, or
Yeah, the dishes part. Was that like
Most
was that
everything
was
makes
during?
gold.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if that was during when we were filming or not.
Oh, it probably was.
Okay. Anyways, that was gold. Yeah, so that friend was in a sketch where he was pitching Teletubbies, but he just came from being an extra for one of the films, and it was like a wartime thing. And so he's got like all this like soot and grime all over his face from being like a I don't know, some soldier in some trench somewhere. And then he has to come out in a full business suit and pitch the idea of Teletubbies. And we were trying to brainstorm, like, how do we explain why he looks like this? And so the answer we came to was he came on stage and he's like, sorry, we're late. My bird got out. And that was
Perfect.
That's all you need, baby.
In and out.
Sometimes your bird gets out. You
That's
know,
right.
It's tragic. Did you guys see the lights go down when I turned that on? I
Nope.
felt like it dimmed just a tiny bit.
Maybe it's your eyes.
Power surge.
I remember one time you did a bit about sleep deprivation.
Yeah,
You're like, I don't really like do any drugs or anything, but I will just like not sleep for 3 days, you know, and hallucinate.
Yeah,
Are you actually doing that kind of stuff?
Not anymore. No, not anymore. I definitely did in college, like my junior year. So right before, like leading up to COVID, my sleep schedule was atrocious, and I would sleep like typically like 6 hours a night. The hallucination thing was I had a week where I slept like 5 hours a night or less, and I got up for class in the morning and was like standing in front of my apartment was shaped like an O, like it had like there were rooms were off to the side, but then it was like there's a hallway, bathroom, and then like the living space, and then the bathroom on the sink on the other side. And so I'm standing at my sink, like getting ready in the morning, and I hear someone go, "Hey!" And I was like, and so I like look around one wall and there's nobody there, and I look around the other wall and there's nobody there, and I was like, okay, wait a second, where did that sound come from? Like, was it this side or this side? And then I was like, oh, it came from
the
inside
back of my head,
like inside of my head. And that's when I was like, all right, I need to get some more sleep.
It's time for lobotomy.
Yeah.
Yep, I've been there.
Yeah. I was just like, I need to get some more sleep tomorrow, because today I know nobody else is going to show up to biblical Hebrew class. So, yeah, you guys think going to school to be a pastor is easy? No, I learned a dead language for this, man.
You're turning to modest Yahoo, dude. That's
Okay,
rad.
so I'm going to adjust the... should I? I feel like if that turned out really well, I should leave it. I should keep it.
These are your personal journeys that you have to...
These are.
I think
it hit all the
Does that need to be
metrics.
like more straight on?
Just what needed to be more straight on?
That?
The kettle? Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so the goal there is just that cylinder is where all the brew water goes, and if that metal isn't hot, then it's a huge heat sink. And then you're brewing at a less than ideal temperature. And so the idea here is just the steam from the water heats it up, and then it doesn't absorb a bunch of the heat from the...
Really like that kettle.
Yeah, isn't it cute? My little gooseneck guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the instructions for it are in like Dutch or something.
Whoa.
And so like the translation to English is just horrible. You know it's going to be bad when the English page isn't to like the, like, I don't know, 40 or 50th page of the manual. And you're just like, oh, okay. So this was not priority.
Actually in alphabetical order.
Yes. Yeah.
Why don't we have priority? I thought we were like...
Aren't we the most important? Like, I don't understand.
English, come on.
You know how you know that it's good coffee?
Oh.
Because I gotta pee.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff right there. Tyson Gusman coffee. It goes straight to your bladder. Did something... Oh, it's picking up the kettle. That's really funny. I'll just set it on his chair. I think that'll work.
Yeah, dude.
As long as he doesn't sit down on it when he gets back. Oh my gosh, if he sat down on it and tooted on the pod, that'd be so embarrassing.
But it'd also be legendary.
It'd be so
It
cool.
would be like more gold than the dishwasher. Holy shit. It would be crazy. I don't know, did you ever sin?
Yeah, man.
Just get wild and
just get wild,
sin
just
all
like,
over the place.
Have a cheeky little afternoon where I like sin.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So this is like an interesting thing about I was thinking about this recently. Like one of the things that makes Nazarenes distinct is we talk about the idea of like this. Like, how theological do you want to get? Like, I don't want to bog down this podcast.
I have somewhat of I like religious stuff. I've had plenty of religious people on. I like talking about it.
Okay, yeah, I do too. I didn't want to take your silly little sin bit and like harsh the vibe.
No.
So
You laughed. That's all I wanted.
Okay, good.
So now we can move on.
So we use this term, entire sanctification, and people flinch at that term because they're like, oh, like you think you're going to be perfect, you think you're never going to do anything wrong, and like if you look at the church,
I don't
it's
think
like
that.
I know it. No, but like if you look at the church, it's pretty obvious that people are doing things wrong. You know, if you go to church, if you've Googled the word church. My favorite thing, I Googled something about Nazarene the other day. Oh, I was trying to figure out if I was officially a reverend or not, because I saw that on a form that was like, you can put your prefixes, And it's like, Mr., Mrs., Dr., Reverend. And I was like, can I do this?
He, him, Reverend?
Yeah. My pronouns are Rev her and Rev him and. So I was checking, but I Googled something about the Nazarene Church, and then one of the suggested questions on Google was, what's wrong with the Nazarene Church?
Dang.
I sent it to all my pastor friends, and I was like, the list is long.
I feel like, you can... If you just say what's wrong with...
We're going to need salvation, some more shit.
But yeah, so we use this term, but the idea of this term is not that you get to like some kind of platonic ideal of perfection, like this thing is completely without flaw, but a way Professor described it was like it's an Aristotelian ideal of perfection. And Aristotle like talked about the idea of a purpose of a thing. And so like the purpose of a chair is so that you can sit in it. So like if this chair is scuffed up or like a little bit wobbly, it's like, yeah, but it's a chair. Like it's a perfect chair. You can sit in it.
Are you like roasting my chair right now?
Yeah, dude, this chair sucks.
Wobbly.
Bro.
My third and fourth lumbar are going to hear.
You'll be getting a letter from my T9. No,
back
but
to it.
Yeah, what?
That's nice. Back to.
Yes.
But like, you're back.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's
back.
clever. Hey, for the folks listening at home, that was a pun. That was Max threw in there. We should let's run it back. Actually, can we see
Let's
that one
run
more
it
time?
back.
Yeah.
There we go. We got
There
it.
we go. We nailed it. We nailed it. Yeah. So the idea, like, we want to get perfection from like a static concept to a dynamic concept, because nothing in life stays the same. There's my favorite Greek philosopher line about this is was it like Heraclitus or something said you can't stand in the same river twice. I think that's pretty baller.
Is it because like rivers are always changing, sort of
Exactly.
thing?
Yeah,
Exactly.
the water's always flowing. It's never the
water's
same.
always flowing.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So yeah, just this idea that like life is constant change, and so the idea of like God's like transformative presence being active in every aspect of your life is what we're talking about. But the problem is the aspects of your life change, right? And so, I got honey on that. I didn't mean to. Yeah, that's perfect. Man, look at you.
Put like some of the water into a cup and then stir the spoon around in the cup.
That's a good idea. Man, this is the most MacGyver-y podcast I've ever been on.
You should have seen when our dryer was broken and I turned all the lighting racks into clothes racks.
That's phenomenal.
You also could see it because it's still broken.
It is still up, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Your dryer's still broken? How long has it been broken?
Like a week.
Ooh, that's difficult.
It's been manageable.
Yeah. There's a lot of eye contact happening right now.
I put on my gown and I go out to the clothesline outside and I hang up the sheets. That's my little me time.
That's great.
I've kind of adapted. I don't think I really want the dryer to get. I might break it more just to keep it broken.
Yeah.
We should play bounce or break.
Bouncer
The dryer?
break.
Yeah, have you ever played bounce or break?
Where you push stuff down the stairs?
No, you either throw... Stairs works. We used to use like third story window or like roof of the fraternity house. And anytime like someone would get a new TV or like a new couch, and
Yeah.
there'd be like an old couch or an old TV
Yeah.
or like an old printer, we'd be like, all right, bounce or break. And we'd
narc at
just
the
chuck
party.
it into the street.
That's so funny. That is very goofy.
There's nothing better than watching a printer explode after a 40-foot drop.
Dude, have
into
you
a
guys-
basketball court?
Have you guys ever been to a rage room?
No,
I am not.
Dude,
Hearing.
this feels so weird because, like, who is less likely to go to a place defined by rage than me, right? There's not much rage in me, but I did go to a whole room dedicated to it. It was my first date with this girl, and she was like, let's go to a rage room. And I was like, okay. So...
Show her what you're capable of.
I guess.
You're
Well,
like-
so it's a weird thing because
I don't want to break it.
Break it.
It's such a nice play. Can we take it home?
so we'd been friends for a while, and this was like we started dating. So this was like her idea of like let's kick things off with
literally kicking things off.
Yes, let's kick things off with it. Man, it's a good thing that I already brewed the coffee.
Ow.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, the grinder just landed directly on the bits he doesn't want to grind.
Circumcised.
Oh my god, the grinder's really heavy too.
Yeah, it is. I'm so sorry, man. Are you all right?
Yeah, my knee hurts the most.
We're gonna take.
Slamming into the table leg.
Oh, yeah, dang.
I did not think about that wing of it there, and I just went right into my fucking patella with it.
Oh my gosh, not
Ooh.
patella.
Is everything in the coffee world okay?
Oh yeah, that'll be fine.
All right.
I do like this. The pressure meter has a thing on the back that says fragile and not water resistant, and I'm like, what are you even good for then? But yeah, it's all good. This is like, that's the nice thing about this. It's like, it's all made of just like metal.
Yeah,
like,
that is nice.
There's nothing. You're like, yeah,
So
I
you'll
love it
know
so
if
much.
it hits you in the dick.
Yeah, I definitely can feel it when the grinder lands on your balls. Fuck.
Okay.
What you need?
Yeah, the rag,
know where I'm
the
scooting
blue
it.
guy. Yeah, thank you.
I'm not gonna use the wheelchair again next week.
What? The wheelchair?
The wheelie, the chair
the
with
wheel-
wheels.
yes.
I guess
Okay, I
I
understand.
could use the wheelchair. That's.
I was gonna say,
Upstairs.
like, did you get so
Just
injured?
scoot back when you get up.
I was trying to scoot in to be more in frame because I kept leaning back and being out of frame.
Last week, I stood up underneath my table. Like I was like, but it was just my huge can underneath the table. Like it was just my big old dumpy under the table. And so I go to stand up and like arch my back, and the corner of the table just digs a line straight, just extending my butt crack. It was atrocious.
I've
man.
never wanted to be a table more.
Max, this is how I could tell that you're an improviser, because you know how to like complete a scene. You know,
Yes, thank you.
that's great. How is the improv world right now? We were talking about this a bit on Thursday at the open mic.
Yeah, it's going all right.
Yeah.
You know, just rehearsing a bunch, being goofballs.
Yeah, being silly little guys. That's what it's all about. You know,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Go play
Samson.
pretend.
Yeah. Samson, you ever make it out to any of the improv stuff?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah.
I would like to,
I did.
but they do their shows on Fridays, and I work Friday nights at the Space Bar.
Yeah, the new one, right? They just reopened in a new location. How is that? How's the location been?
Oh, it's really sweet. It's a lot bigger, and then like they also have like a screen printing shop in it as well.
Really?
Yeah. And so they're
That's
doing screen
interesting.
printing in the back, and then they have like the arcade and stuff.
That's of course the classic crossover that we all hear about.
Yeah,
It's like,
absolutely. Screen printing arcade bar.
yes, it's like, oh, you're gonna open a bar? Well, are you? Who's doing the arcade and the screen
Yeah,
printing?
exactly.
You're gonna have to hire
You're gonna have to.
shirt guy.
Do you guys already? Yeah, screen printers are just looking for new bars all the time. It's like, hey, I know an arcade guy. If you guys want a screen printer. Yeah, me and my buddy, we're kind of a package deal. He does the screen printing, I do other arcade.
That's literally how it is. It's
Yeah.
really
Do
weird.
not combine them.
They're in
We tried
separate
once.
parts of the bar.
Yeah,
They're separate entities
separate.
within the same building.
yeah. We need to be no more and no less than 25 feet apart. at all
Wait, so
times.
is it a bar with a screen printing shop, or a screen printing shop with a bar, or is it an arcade with a screen printing bar, or you know what I'm getting at?
It's an
Which
arcade
is it?
bar with a screen printing shop.
Arcade bar.
But if you put it between two pieces of bread, would it be a sandwich or a hot dog? That's the real question.
No,
if you turned it
is it
into
wet?
It's a bun to be a hot dog, damn it.
if you turned it into a liquid, would that liquid be wet? Is what I want to know.
Be a dry liquid. Like gin.
Yeah, how did gin get so dry?
Yeah, why is
How'd
gin
they-
so dry?
they got off
and
easy.
champagne?
Yeah,
Champagne's extra dry. That doesn't make sense.
I don't know about all that.
You see through my shirt the same when you put it on me. How's this coming along?
It's coming along good.
That could be
I
part
need
of
the
your
water.
disappearing bit. Dry liquids.
I tried to pour myself a glass of dry gin.
Nothing came out.
I tried
Yeah.
to put extra dry gin
Jamie
with
the
my
one.
ice, and after the ice melted into water, it disappeared.
Sorry. There's some real estate.
Perfect. Yeah, I need to dump it into there because that's got my
Max got a
measuring
bendy straw, dude.
on the side. Yeah,
I need
I
to-
had two, and I was like, well, I don't know how close we're gonna sit together. How am I gonna tell these guys apart? You know?
We just put 2 straws in the same one, and
And then we can drink it together.
Yeah,
I
maybe our hair
wasn't
will
gonna
touch.
make myself one. I've
look at-
poisoned both of yours. I mean, I've already had too much today.
either one.
What kind of poison?
Either way.
Because I'm immune to most. So.
Iocane powder.
Yep.
Sounds
My
exotic.
dad's been giving that me since I was a kid.
Dude, I met your dad the other day.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
He was at the handlebar.
That's not a thing.
That's not your father?
That was not my father.
I knew it. So, okay, actually, like, this interaction was so weird. Because I meet him, right? And he was talking to me.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm rich. And I go, oh, it's nice to meet you. Like, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, Samson's my boy. Didn't even say, like, I'm Samson's dad. Said, like, Samson's my boy. And I was like, you know, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Like, if
Hey, this is very good.
Good.
Yeah.
was it worth the 45 minutes that it took to get here?
100%.
Okay, good.
You're gonna drink some too, right? You're gonna...
Yeah, I'll, yeah, totally.
Just to make sure it's not
So
poison.
is this
Right,
just like
yeah, yeah,
drippy drip leftovers?
Okay, so this is kind of a metric that I came up with that I later found out was a metamorphosis of a metric that people actually use. So when you're extracting coffee, there's largely 3 kinds of compound. Like, there's one way to think of it is there's 3 kinds of compounds. There's your like sour, like acidic compounds. There's your sweet compounds, and then there's your bitter compounds. So what you want to know at the end of a cup of coffee is, did I get the sweet without getting the bitter? It's like, did I get past the sour to the sweet without the bitter? So what I do here is I taste what I didn't brew, right? So whatever was left in here, I then taste. And if it's not bitter, then I know there was more good in this coffee for me to extract. And then that shapes how I make the next cup of coffee.
So like, how would you say this isn't bitter?
Okay.
And you're like,
Let's
okay,
find
next
out.
time I want to try it too.
Okay. So you're going to hate this. It's really sour.
It is pretty sour.
Do you want a little sip? This is the actual poison.
I liked it though.
It's got like a... So you can taste what
Like
I've...
that bad coffee bitterness.
Yes, it does. Which is
What
what I
I'm-
like. So, and the reason I think that bad coffee is like the stereotype that it is because the easiest thing to do with coffee is to eliminate all of the like individual pieces of it, right? So if you roast coffee really dark, you'll get rid of kind of the taste of place. You'll end up with that kind of roasty flavor. It's kind of like if you taste a blueberry and you taste a raspberry, you're like, those are different. But if you simmer them down into a syrup, you'll get like a berry syrup, and you're like, oh, okay. So same kind of principle at play here. Like, you're caramelizing the things, you're breaking it down in the coffee. So the darker you roast it, the less distinct it's going to taste. So if you dark roast all your coffee, it doesn't really matter as much where it was from, what altitude, like all of these like particulars. Just kind of like, yeah, it tastes like coffee. And then like if you brew it like sour, you might, it's easier to brew it all the way past and you get the sweetness out of it than it is to like try to hit the sweet spot where you don't get the awful coffee flavor. It's easier to just like way over extract it. And so I think that's why we have the stereotype of bad coffee flavor, but good coffee tastes better than that. And so, yeah. But yeah, we had a lot of that bitterness in here. I'm dealing with this uneven extraction from this right now that I'm trying to figure out. There's all kinds of...
Because you're sitting and you're like pulling it all weird in it.
Yeah, that can. I don't know.
It definitely can. And like, yeah, if this, like, a weird thing, but like how level a surface is makes
Yeah,
a difference.
Totally, I can see that.
Yeah. The weird thing about the flare, which I love this machine, but it makes a deeper coffee puck than you have with a normal espresso machine because you're packing. So I'm only packing this with like 15 grams, but it's still deeper than 18 grams in a 58 millimeter basket. So then you have more like coffee area to get through, which means it's harder for the water to get through the coffee. So you're more likely to develop channels through the coffee bed
which is where you get uneven extraction, because whatever's like along the channel that the water breaks through, that's going to get extracted really heavily. Whatever's not is not going to get extracted very well.
Okay.
So that's why we have like, there's some sourness left in this, but it's primarily bitter, because my extraction is a little bit uneven, but it's still mostly extracting pretty well, which has been a tough battle with these beans. As you can see, I mean, I've got through like the whole jar without like really dialing it in perfectly yet, but
Wow.
anyways.
Could have fooled me. That's delicious.
Good, I'm glad.
Did you get another bottle of this Whistle Pig coffee, or did you just keep putting new beans in it? Okay.
Whistle Pig coffee.
That shit's cool as fuck,
Yeah, that's
actually.
cute.
So it's from Vermont. Max got it a while ago. And it, like, when we brewed it, it had, like, a whiskey flavor to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Brown sugar caramel and
It's like,
cardamom.
you know how at liquor stores they'll give out like little knickknacks and stuff during
Yeah.
holidays and stuff?
Yeah.
You bought like a bottle of whiskey or something, and they gave you a
That's
bottle with
cool,
some
man.
coffee beans in it.
Yeah,
But-
it says refrigerate after opening too, which is a bold stance for them to take.
that is bold.
It's a divisive statement in the coffee world.
The coffee in there is
This is
Not Whistle
it's old.
the bottle.
Oh, it could be I'm just like I'm smelling like
You could be smelling the like rye or whiskey or whatever
Okay,
like
yeah,
flavor
yeah.
that was in the bottle, because it definitely was pungent.
said the booze in here.
Have you had, like, coffee from the Mule?
I haven't yet. Yeah, which like that's like the Boise legend, right? The guy like wanders the hills. And,
Yeah,
like,
he
roasts
wanders the
coffee for
foothills
people,
and just
yeah.
brews coffee in the mornings. Like, he, like, will stop. And if you follow them on Instagram, they'll say where they're going to be in the morning and stuff.
Oh,
a lot of times.
interesting.
So they'll be like, hey, this Saturday we're going to be at this spot on this trail in the foothills, so come grab coffee from us. But I helped put on the Bogus Basin Hill Climb this year, which is, like, the bike race that it's been going on for, like, 53 years.
That's
It's, like,
crazy,
the longest
man.
hill climb in the country.
That's crazy.
But
Wait, it takes them 53 years to climb this hill? What's wrong
yeah,
with these
I know,
bikers?
I
man?
know, dude. It's only 18 miles.
I've wasted my life.
But no, we had the mules up at the top for people at the end.
That's
Like,
awesome.
It's badass, like seeing like the mule just carrying the coffee around.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Is it more the mule responsible or the man responsible for the coffee?
The man makes the coffee.
That would be so funny.
That'd be crazy if the
if
mule,
the mule is just like picking up the kettle and like
goes like
pouring it.
full BoJack Horseman kind things. Eugene, what are you doing?
That's awesome. I lost the lid part to the jar, and I'm worried that I'm going to knock honey everywhere. Granted, it would be a slow problem to have.
But boy, would it be
Stop the honey.
Did it just disappear?
It seems that way.
That's crazy.
Well, I just I don't want to take up all the table space. I know that we're going to be playing some card games later in the podcast. So,
We're gonna play Risk.
yeah. Oh, and once the card games get rolling, you wouldn't believe how hard I'm going to con you guys out of. That's what my card tricks are good for.
Challenge you to a Pokemon battle.
Dude, I didn't play Pokemon as a kid, and so now like it's all way above my head.
Arms on the chair that I'm sitting in. Usually I sit in like the wooden chairs
Oh,
and not this one.
Oh, I see the-
I'm struggling to.
yeah.
Figure
It's
out
interesting. The podcast viewers never get to see the saxophone that's on the other end of the room.
Oh, they see it
With
plenty.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they see it.
So that's you play?
Sam.
Samson
I play the
plays.
saxophone.
Okay.
Max plays
okay.
the clarinet.
No way.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We
What kind
both-
of music do you guys?
We both grew up playing like concert and pep band
Oh.
in middle school and high school, and then we both kind of stopped playing as much when we went to college, I think. And
Yeah.
I tried to turn
You
my
just answer for you.
Okay, well,
Max is like, I joined a band. We toured nationally. That's cool, man. I think it'd be really funny if we did like if I host a mic again sometime soon, we should do like a halftime bit where you guys come out and like play some pep songs.
that would be fun.
Just like very
Crazy
briefly.
Train or something.
You guys march out in your bibbers and just.
I've always wanted to do a sketch or something where it's somebody who sings and plays like a woodwind or a mouth instrument, so they sing and have to.
That's I play a little bit of harmonica.
I guess like
I think a fun bit to do would be like if we like went to like some like really small event, like just people casually playing pickleball or something.
Yeah.
And we like started playing pep band music, like as they're playing, just like randos. And, like go to the skate park or something, and like.
that'd be fun.
That'd be pretty
That'd
sick.
super fun.
Yeah. So you played growing up, played in college?
Oh, no, just through film throughout the years. Every once in a while we'll do that, and then high school, middle school was all band, and then the last 3-ish years been a big musical theater nerd.
Oh.
And so just any instrument has been very
Yeah.
intriguing.
What's like the big inspiration in musical theater for you right now? Like what's the thing that you keep going back to?
Jeremy Jordan.
Anything
Jeremy Jordan.
Okay. What's it? Give me some titles. I don't know.
He was Jack Kelly in Newsies. He
Okay.
was Jamie in the Last 5 Years movie. He's gonna be Gatsby in the Great Gatsby musical.
Ooh.
He is Seymour right now in Little Shop.
Nice.
He was Neil Bogart in the Spinning Gold movie. He's in a band. He's just a good singer.
Yeah.
And I want to be him so badly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know. I just like live stuff.
Yeah.
Any outlet of it, I think they're all really cool. Especially just being able to work the same thing every night. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's all rad. But
Yeah.
musical theater is the newest one.
That's
and
cool.
That's fun.
Yeah. Do you get involved with like local theater groups?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So are you in a musical right now?
Not currently.
Oh.
Last one, I did an improv-esque show over Christmas that had some musical elements, but I wouldn't call it a musical.
Okay.
And then I directed Sweeney Todd, and then
Whoa.
Grease, Something Rotten, others that I can't remember.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Man, that's super cool. So, okay. You are involved in like all of this film stuff and like all this theater stuff. You went to college.
A little bit.
Okay. What did you little bit. What did you study while you were there? Just
Business and accounting.
and then you were like, screw this. I got to be put me on the stage, baby. I need the spotlight. I crave it.
I thought I always thought business was cool. I like the business aspect of things, but it's just I'm not. I don't know. It's like celery. I like it if it's there. It's cool, but like I don't pursue it.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not like growing your own celery in the
it's
garden.
just-
And like, yeah.
I could really care less if it's there. If it's there,
Yeah.
great. You know,
Perfect. Yeah.
Chop some up, put it in a whatever you put celery in.
Yeah, yeah,
in
you know,
some
this-
chicken wings.
Yeah. Yeah. Some tuna salad, I
Tomato
guess. I don't know.
soup. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly just I like to giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
What about you?
Yeah, so let's see. I think theater's so fun. I started doing comedy when I was 15. I started doing stand up. And then after my sophomore year of high school, Washington has this program called Running Start. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know what it is.
So in Running Start, like you basically, your last 2 years of high school, they give you a list of like class requirements, but you go to a community college and you take classes there. And so it's like you graduate high
With
school.
your associates.
Yeah, with your associate's degree. So I did that, and this college offered improv classes. And so I took so many improv classes that I almost didn't graduate, which was not my fault. There was like a typo on the form that made me, like I was checking and they were just like, oh no, this is supposed to say 137. You don't have the credits. And I was like, what?
Finish this scene.
Yeah. So yeah, the registrar comes down to improv class and I'm just like,
I need an article of clothing.
So, yeah, but I got super into it there, and I was in the improv club. I was at every rehearsal. I became the what do we call him? It wasn't co-leader. I think it was like the co-chair or something of the improv club. And we ran shows every month, and it was a blast. Like I loved doing that. I tried starting. So I did start improv at NNU. There There was like a skit show that happened before I was there. It was called Wednesday Night Live. I think every university has one.
I don't remember us having one at U of I.
Really?
Yeah.
I just feel like everybody takes Saturday Night Live and then they're like, but what's like the goofiest day of the week we can turn it into? And so, yeah, we had Wednesday Night Live, which had been like a ton of different things in the history of NNU. Mm-hmm. I hosted the last one, and they kind of did like, they did a couple of sketches. They did a couple like original things. I want to say they might have, I don't remember if they ripped off any internet stuff. That happened a lot at NNU. Like, we'd have like different talent shows and stuff.
That happens at universities all the time. Kids fucking suck.
Yeah,
it's like, honestly, like, especially fucking, I don't know, that as like a marketing student, I would see that constantly.
Yeah.
Like, anytime something viral happened, like every kid's project for the next month is like just basically copying whatever viral trend is going on and being like, this is what you do. And it's like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But yeah, so they also did like a little bit of improv in that show, which was super fun for me because I was still fresh off of it and everything. The next year, they put me in charge of that club, and I tried to incorporate some improv into it. And the first show, it went all right. And the second show, it was the third night of Hanukkah, which feels like it shouldn't be an important detail. But we started doing this sketch. It was... shoot, what was it called? Are you doing a Hanukkah song? Is that what's happening? So let's see. It's that game where you tell a story, but it's like one person says the story and the next person acts it out for the third person. Third person tells the story, next person acts it out for the fifth person.
Sounds like an advanced
game of telephone.
Improv, like charade.
Yes,
thing.
it was like charades, telephone, storytelling. We had some cute
Sounds
name
fun.
for it.
Yeah,
super fun. We started by getting 3 suggestions. I was leading it, and I just like, so I told the story, and I totally forgot all the suggestions. Like I just didn't incorporate them, and I don't know why. It was so weird. But then the second person like acted out the story in a way that like really heightened all of the violent underpinnings of it. And the third person goes to tell the story, and it immediately is like taking place in a concentration camp in Nazi Germany.
Oh God.
And it's like, oh no. And so like so we had like a community life coordinator who like would censor the shows. So he came to every show. I know. I'm realizing
So
how
you're a
weird
biblical
this was.
Hebrew teacher?
No, but I think he did graduate with a Christian studies degree, like from the school several years before.
Because you need one to be a censor.
So, yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's a way that the university like covers its butt, because it's like they don't want kids seeing something and then going home and be like, yeah, I went to this university event and here's what they said. And the parents are like, what? I'm going to pull funding. That's like really, that's genuinely the train of thought. And so he like cut off the, it's the third night of Hanukkah. We can't be doing the Nazi Germany sketch.
He pulled the third night of Hanukkah card. Classic. Lazy.
But then we had to like, I wanted to finish out the show. So we did one more sketch after that. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. But then the next year I like got serious and we actually did like improv. And so we ran like weekly rehearsals for it and everything, and had like a separate improv club or section of the club. And we put on a show like a year, like to the week kind of after that one. And it went really well.
Nice.
So yeah, it was super fun. But
On the
Muzzle.
yeah, thank you. We did like a show at the beginning of the year. It was like a week 1 show that we like advertised all of the stuff that we were going to be doing as a club this year. And I said, some of you guys have seen like, improv can be really unpredictable. And like last year, we did not see that coming. It was our little shot at redemption. But yeah, so like I did a lot of that kind of theater. I did a lot of like actual theater in middle school. I did this production of Schoolhouse Rock that was just atrocious. And like, I don't know why the director wasn't like harder on us. Like we didn't have our lines memorized. And like 30 people showed up to the show, and it was just like a Saturday morning. And we're like, whatever.
Was it, because I've done shows where some of the actors didn't know their lines the day of the show, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not the director's fault.
That's fair.
Is it like one of those, or is it like your director just
Sounds like
didn't
it's a bunch
do
of middle
anything?
schoolers doing a show.
Yeah, I mean, when you're 13, I feel like somebody really needs to hold your hand through all the steps of the process. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it was me. Maybe I was just like the idiot and I don't know. That's entirely possible. I feel like other aspects of it weren't all the way together too. It was also just a weird show. Like he was like, yeah, there's no costumes, just kind of wear whatever you want. Because it's like Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of weird. But after that, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I like doing this, which is a shame because I do really like doing it. Like I love theater.
Yeah.
But the next year, my friends convinced me to join, like to audition for the musical at the high school. What I mean by that is like a couple of my friends were like, hey, you should audition for this with us. And I was like, nah, I don't know. And they were like,
guys, don't they?
well, I don't know. I think they probably needed guys, but they were also just like, hey, that cute girl from 6th period is trying out. And I was like, I'll be there. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I auditioned and I didn't get like a speaking part, but I did get a role as a featured dancer.
Nice.
And the musical was Cabaret.
Sick.
Yeah. So little 9th grade, like conservative Christian Tyson, it's like dancing in the
Sexy.
Cabaret. Yeah, getting hot, dude. Getting so hot.
God.
So yeah, I remember I opened the second act. There's this number that's like, you know, kind of like it serves the purpose of catching up historically on where we're at because it's this plot is like World War II Germany, and you know, it's also like the satire in the club and everything.
Yeah.
So I come out in drag essentially.
What was your
And-
drag name?
You know, I didn't think of coming up with one. I didn't know anything about drag culture then, so I have figured out what my drag name would be now, but I feel like it needs some explaining. Okay, so there's a Latin phrase, Missio Dei, which is the mission of God. And so my drag name would be Missy O'Day, and you wouldn't even need to change the spelling. So keep an eye out next year at the Pride Festival. I might, who knows?
It's coming up like this weekend.
Yeah, it's this weekend. Yeah, it's too late for me to do it now. I mean, I don't even have any, you know, lip syncs memorized or anything like that. So. Gloria in excelsis Deo. That would be pretty good, yeah. That would be so funny if my name was Missy O'Day and I just did hymns. And I like, what if I like hid a hymnal under every chair in the room? I'm like, all right.
Take that home.
It's like, all right, hoes, open up to 478.
You sluts ready to get wild with the word of God.
Praise God from whom all. That would be awesome. No, but yeah, so I was in like a purple sequin tube top and this just absurd curly brown wig, eyeliner, heels, little tiny skirt, like the whole thing.
Nice.
And yeah, I slayed. I ate no crumbs. Yeah. But it was one of those experiences where it was fun for me. And this was like back before I really came to terms with like the kind of human being I am. And so I was like I had these very like manly expectations for myself, to put it blunt, like poorly. And so that like whole moment was funny for me because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so silly and crazy. But then I was like, yeah, this is the last musical I'm ever doing. And looking back on it, I wish I would have told that little twink, like, you can do it. Like, just let it go a little bit. You're going to carry a person half a decade. Like, just let it be.
You like it. You like it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get that.
Exactly. That's what every
Cabaret.
teenager needs
I
to
did
do.
something pretty similar where like for a pep rally, like me and a couple other guys dressed up in like the old cheerleading outfits and like went out in front of the whole like school and did like shit alongside the cheerleaders and stuff.
And everyone's like, oh, it's funny because they don't conform to our gender norms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kick his ass.
If this happened on the street, I would have some hateful things to say.
But now
I don't
it's
like that. I'm kind of
funny.
hard right now. Hike. Samson, what's your drag name?
By the way, I feel like Samson Large is already a pretty good, like that. Maybe not a drag name. That's just like a good fake name for like
Porn
manly
star name.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It is a
There you
good
go.
porn star name.
Yeah.
There is a porn star. I think his name's Samson Steele. And it's like a big black guy.
Oh yeah,
I
there you go.
think I'm not 100%.
That's, yeah, you really always got to cover your track. My mom watches this podcast, so but I don't know. Just some friends have told me about that. We're not friends
I've
anymore,
heard about
though.
it on the internet, but not like in that part of the internet. But like,
I read an article about it from the New York Times. It was in between other more academic articles.
What are we talking about?
Just Samson's drag name.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think it would be something along the lines of like Samsina Small.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Reverse.
Yeah, just throw it on there backwards.
Yeah,
Put your
exactly.
thing down, flip it in reverse. Yeah, so to speak. That's good. What would your drag name be?
It'd probably
Nudson.
be like Maxi spelled with 3 X's and then like semi-Nudson or something.
Oh,
like
there you go. Yeah, I didn't even think about like nude is already. My brain went to nut because that's what like a lot of hosts call you.
that. Yeah. It's okay.
Can I just say too that like one of my pet peeves is like when hosts like if someone gets your name wrong once, like that's totally understandable. I'm Tyson Gusman. Like that is there are a million ways to mispronounce that.
Are
Or
there?
I think a lot
There's
of
at
people
least
go
two.
straight for like Gusman or something.
they do.
Like that,
People go
yeah.
French. They're like Tyson Gusman.
It's like, who told you to do that?
Yeah. Or people will just straight up forget and they'll introduce me as Tyler. Like that's happened a couple times, which is unprofessional. But like, yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen your name pronounced correctly.
I
I
honestly
think it's
kind
a
of like
running
it.
joke amongst like all the comedians that they just won't say it right.
I like it
Really?
because I have like a couple little quips I can add after, and I don't know. It's a good
Yeah.
start. It kind of
Yeah.
lightens it up, especially when the host knows that they don't totally know my last name.
Yeah, and they're
They're
like,
like-
"Mm,
Like I
can-
asked
can
him what it
you-"
was, and he said just say whatever. So here
Get
goes
up for
Max, piece
Max.
of shit, making me work.
Did that actually happen? I feel like I saw that happen.
Not the last
conversation.
part,
Oh, okay,
but not
Yeah.
like Max
Yeah,
making me read. But
there
I
was
have had
this-
people be like, he said say whatever. So
Yeah. There was a comic in the scene a while ago. I haven't seen her in a long time, which is a shame because she was great. Her name was Brianna Cawley. Okay, so that one, million ways to say it. Brianna, Callie, Kali, yeah, just all kinds of
Callie.
things. I don't think I heard anyone ever get it right.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, and so like when I was a host, like I made a point of like asking her like, okay, it's Brianna Cawley. She's like, yeah, and I had to make mnemonics for it. I'm like, it's Cawley like cauliflower, and that's right? It's not.
The normal thing with like Brianna versus Brianna is if there's 2 N's, it's a Brianna, and if there's 1 N, it's a Brianna.
Oh,
And
that
it's the
holds
same thing
true
with
here.
Anna.
if there's an
and
H,
Anna,
she's a
like-
cunt.
Like a lot, like a Spanish name is like Anna.
Anna, yeah.
So like ANA.
Yeah.
But like if you call an Anna Anna, they're
gonna
not going to
die.
be happy.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
And to that, Anna, why? Why is it such a big deal?
I get it.
For
I don't know,
Samson.
Mox. You tell me, Samson. What's wrong with it? Do you guys mind? I gotta send a text here really quick just to.
Yeah, let her rip.
Okay.
I got to pee again. This is ridiculous.
Great. Do you want to? Is this when we do the ad break? Like we tell them about how this is sponsored by Clorox. It's only the power of Clorox wipes that'll clean up all this coffee
Podcast
mess
would be
later.
cool if
This
it was
podcast is sponsored by bleach because I drink it every day.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably start wrapping this up. We've been talking for an hour and a half. Do you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
try your coffee?
Oh sure.
I,
I'll give it a little sipski here.
yeah,
Let's.
I didn't know.
I
I had to opt out of the glass straw. As much as I like them, I
Yeah.
have veneers, and it's like
Oh,
my
really?
biggest fear is like conk.
Oh, like the front two are
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
I had fever spots, which
What is
I
that?
didn't know. I learned what they were when I was like 20. But I guess
Okay.
if you're like a baby and you have a gnarly fever. I guess it does something to your front teeth where basically it just leaves these two just whiter spots in the middle. And so I just had little white squares in my teeth, and so they just piled down and
Interesting.
plastered them.
Wow.
Yeah.
My teeth got plastered that night, dude.
They could not drive.
Normally, like, my teeth are totally good. Like, a couple drinks, whatever. Just whatever. I got one really long tooth that goes down to the gas, but not this night. They were plastered.
Mo money, mo Lars. If someone liked you so much that they wanted to become a fan and follow you around, what would they do to do that?
Wow, that is a great way to phrase that question.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's a couple ways. So, comedy, Instagram, Tyson Gusman Comedy, TikTok, Tyson Gusman Comedy. Try to post about my upcoming shows there. Here's one I haven't posted about yet.
This will come out in a while, so there's...
Okay, perfect. So, there's one that I'm not allowed to tell you guys about on the 9th.
Don't tell.
Yeah, I won't tell. But then, let's see, the 23rd, I'm on the roast battle, going up against Nate Ford.
Nice. That'll be a
pretty
fun
good.
one.
That'll be good.
Is that's the next of the first round ones, right? Or
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hope you win.
Yeah, me too. I found out there's like a cash prize for the winner. I was like, I thought this was just for kicks and giggles. I thought we were just messing around out here. I love roasting, dude.
Yeah, dude. I had a great time last week doing it. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What were the results?
So I beat Tanya.
Nice.
Yeah. Put that old lady in the ground where she belongs. Just kidding, Mom. I love you.
Yeah. We love you, Taco.
And then let's see. Dan Clark beat Yeti.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Dan Clark kind of crushed it.
Nice.
He had some good jokes.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Tyler Wolf beat Brett Haney.
Yeah, Tyler can bring it, man.
And then Josh Price beat Jake Martin.
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting round, too. It's going to be great.
And I think that was all of them. Yeah, so then they also do, this is interesting, so they do a best joke of the night.
Oh.
Where the best joke of the night gets $40 cash like that night.
Nice.
And so one of my jokes was like runner-up for best joke of the
yeah.
night. And then Tyler Wolf had best joke of the night on Brett Haney.
So what was your joke that got runner-up?
My joke was, Tanya, you look like the kind of mom who locks her kids outside of the car in the winter so that you can chain smoke cigarettes with the windows up and the heat on.
Yeah. She vapes now, though.
Yeah, so she keeps the kids in the car now.
That's awesome.
Good mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked for it. It's going to be fun. And then the 29th, I'm at Karuna Kava. I'm going to be
nice.
hosting that one. That's
Heck
yeah. Those have you guys done any of those shows
I've
yet?
not done the
Kava.
Karuna Kava one yet.
Dude, the Kava bar is such an interesting spot.
I've been there before, like for like work meetings and stuff.
Okay,
Because I
cool.
like have some friends who are like really into Kava.
Yeah.
But the Kava thing is like kind of crazy too. Like it's like a weird like feeling that it gives you in your mouth and stuff when you drink it.
Yeah. I haven't tried it. I really don't like the idea of things messing with my head. Like, I don't even do sleep deprivation anymore.
Yeah.
It's getting too deep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it
too
messes
far
with
in.
your head, honestly, that much. Like,
Yeah. Anything that, like, puts you in a different state just kind of freaks me out. Like, Chris Sharma tried it for the first time on this show last weekend. And then he kept being like, man, what am I talking about up here? Like, he kept, like, it spaced him out a little bit. And then we talked afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I genuinely, like, lost my train. Like,
It
I was
honestly-
gone.
Yeah, it reminded me of some things when I drank it.
Yeah.
Mainly the numbing effect on your mouth
kid
reminded
mirrors.
me of certain things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but it's really interesting. And then I drank like a whole fucking bag of it,
Oh, yeah.
and
yeah.
like didn't really feel any different. So I don't know. Maybe Sharma's a little guy, you know. Maybe.
Maybe he's just weak.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Sharma's
You hear
a
that,
little
Sharma? I'm
pansy.
challenging you.
Shotgun bags of
No,
Kava.
I'm just kidding. Sharma's one of the judges in the roast battles.
Dude, I love Sharma.
He's
such a
he's
good
great,
guy.
man. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
funny, dude.
Yeah.
You guys are such fucking sheep. You just flipped. Because he's going to be judging you.
No, I don't
No,
care. You're right. I should insult him. Sharma, I don't know. Wyatt was wearing sweatsuits. He doesn't watch this podcast.
Chris Shawarma.
Chris Schmegma. You know, dick cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, you smell bad too.
September 29th.
Yes, Kava Bar. And then let's see.
So 23rd is the roast.
23rd is the roast.
29th the kava.
Mm-hmm. And then there's something going on in October, but right now it is totally escaping me. So follow me on Instagram, and I'll post a calendar one of these days.
If you win your roast battle, you'll do another roast battle in October.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy. That's the one to double down on.
World famous comedian Nate Ford, though. Nathan
Yes.
Scott Ford.
I got this.
Yeah,
dude.
he's pretty roastable.
I'll tell you when we're off the air.
The
'cause
man
I don't
loves
wanna-
roast, and
Yeah.
not just the joke kind.
Yes, and not just the coffee kind. So that's funny, actually. I
Talking
like
about
that.
meat.
Yes, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'll tell you guys some of the roasts I come up with. I want to run some by you after we're off the
Oh,
air.
yeah,
I don't want
definitely.
to spoil them.
Yeah, no,
But,
don't.
Yeah.
Well, I guess sign us off then. Say the
Yeah.
last thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was.
Will you send us off with another prayer?
I was all ready to do a pretty good sign off. I was going to say I feel like that's pretty good. Okay. Are we gonna?
We could cut it there if you want.
Yeah, I feel like that was pretty good.